Hey guys, I hope you're all doing great. Today I have a subject I was thinking about a few days ago at work while listening to the radio. My job is siding houses and doing roofing and construction work like that. So a lot of times we turn the radio on and just listen to it all day long because it's either turn the radio on or there's silence. So we turned the radio on and a song came on that interested me very much. It was called Beer with Jesus. It's a country song. For those of you who like country, you probably know what I'm talking about. And it's talking about this guy who is he's singing the song, he's saying, if I could have a beer with Jesus, just chill, like hang out, have a beer with Jesus. That's what he's talking about. And at first I thought, oh man, another country song I don't like, which is like every song, but that's not really true. But at first I was like, I don't like this song because that totally contradicts itself. But then I caught myself thinking that, and I corrected myself from something I've been learning in Sunday school lately, and just from being at Word of Life for the past few years and whatever, is just how Jesus is. Jesus doesn't judge you for how you are, he meets you where you are. Let me explain that. In the Bible, there are a few examples that I have of this, so I want to read them to you. The first comes from Luke 19, where it's talking about Zacchaeus. You guys probably know the story. Zacchaeus is a short little guy. He climbs up in a tree to see Jesus, so he can see above the crowd, and then Jesus stops, looks up at Zacchaeus, and says, Zacchaeus, hurry and come down, for today I must stay at your house. And remember, Zacchaeus is a Pharisee. Not a Pharisee, a tax collector. A lot of times back then, the tax collectors would just gyp people and rip people off and steal their money. Basically, charge 7 times as much as they owe, a lot of money. And he did this. It tells that Zacchaeus did this all the time. Later on in this passage it says, and Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house, Zacchaeus' house, because he too, Zacchaeus, is the son of Abraham. For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost. And that's what I want to talk about right now, is that I was brought up under the influence that if you have friends that are not saved, they should not be your friends. That's the impression that I was given as a young person and as a child, is that all your friends should be Christians, basically. And if you want to witness to the world, it has to be from inside your box. You're in a glass box as the Christians, and all the non-Christians are on the outside looking at you. And you have to try to be a good example through that glass barrier. Does that make sense? So they can see you, but you're not interacting with the uncleanliness. And that's totally, I'm learning in the past couple of years, is not how it is at all. That is not how it is. Jesus was not afraid to be with sinners, and that's how we should be. Obviously, yes, you need your Christian friends to just sharpen each other and keep each other accountable. But we should not be afraid to have non-Christian friends. In fact, we need non-Christian friends. We need to have friends that are not Christians, so we can be an example to them, for one. But two, even I would go so far as to say forget about the whole Christian and non-Christian thing to a certain extent. You don't need to be like, I am a Christian and I must bestow my wisdom upon you. No, who does that? Nobody does that in this world that I can think of. Nobody does that except the Christians. Why should we do that? That doesn't make any sense to me. That's not how you love people. Jesus didn't come and bestow his wisdom upon us. He did, but he did it after he met our level, and then he taught it. He didn't stand above and then condemn. The other example I have from the Bible is in John chapter 1. And this is the story of Jesus' first miracle. Some of you might know this. It's not as common a story as Zacchaeus. But basically the story is, I won't take the time to read it. I'll post the passage in the description. But basically the story is that Jesus is at a wedding with his mother Mary. And they run out of wine. So Mary comes to Jesus and says, Jesus, do something about it. His reply is kind of strange. It says, woman, what does this have to do with us? My hour has not yet come. That's his response to do something about the wine. Get us wine. Do something. And I'm not going to go into that now, but that's Jesus' response. And obviously Mary expected Jesus to do something about this. So obviously she believed in his power. She knew that there was something different because she expected him to do something about it. And, it's a wedding. Where are you going to go and get, who knows how much wine? You don't just get it at the snap of fingers. So obviously Mary believed in him to some extent. And you might ask, what does this have to do with having non-Christian friends? Well, think about it. Jesus was at a wedding with wine. There were obviously people drinking, probably drinking very freely, as people always do at weddings. But he did not condemn it. My church, doesn't even dance at weddings. They have like old gospel songs playing, and we eat at the reception. That's pretty much it. You don't dance. There's no alcohol, which that's a different topic. I'm not saying we should have alcohol, but Jesus was here. He was not condemning them for having wine, and he helped them by giving them more wine that was better than the first. Think about that. Jesus was not afraid to associate with the non-believing. There were people there that did not believe in Jesus and were getting drunk, and they were drinking wine and everything else, and he was not afraid to be there, and he did not condemn them for it. Because you cannot expect a non-Christian to act saved. They cannot do it. It says so in the Bible. It says you can't do it. It's impossible. You cannot break the bondage of sin without the Holy Spirit, and non-saved people do not have the Holy Spirit. So you can't expect non-saved people to act saved. It just doesn't make sense. So in conclusion, that was what went through my mind in about a period of 30 seconds while I was listening to the song Beer with Jesus. So my concluding thought now is, would Jesus have a beer with somebody? And I would venture to say yes, he would. Because Jesus is not afraid to hang out with those who do not believe. Or sinners, as you might say, even though all of us are sinners. Or somebody who is searching for him. He will meet you where you are. You don't have to be any certain way to meet Jesus. He's not going to say, well, if you smoke, then I won't talk to you, like the Christians say. If you smoke, he will go and meet you there. I'm not saying Jesus would smoke. I'm just saying he will meet you where you are. And that's the conclusion that I came to from this song. So, if you haven't subscribe to my page, because I only have like 23 subscribers and I need people who actually watch my videos. And like this video, and then comment if you have any questions, or you want a Bible passage, or anything like that, or if I forgot to say something, or if you have another topic that you'd like me to address or talk about, leave a comment, because I really, really want to make these videos, and I really want to be able to address hot topic issues. So leave me a comment, and keep watching my videos, and I will see you later.